God bless you. I hope God protects you and everything that you're building and fighting for and fighting with. I hope you win the battles you don't speak about.
Why people don't heal from anxiety is they just can't let love in.
Welcome first-time listeners and returners to the Sports Deli, where everyone deserves a seat at the table. What about fucking Colin? Why does he not have a fucking job? Because he's still being white-balled. Why is Tom not speaking out about that? He should be his biggest fucking ally. And he hasn't said one fucking thing. A lot of people that have come on this show, I don't know why, they've gotten some good fucking jobs afterwards. Jim Rome in the jungle. It's right here in the Sports Deli, baby. We got some good ass karma right here. Let's fucking go.
I love it.
We hope you enjoy today's show, everyone. All right, let's rock and roll. Welcome to this special edition of the Sports Deli podcast. Stephanie White, head coach of the Indiana Fever. What are you doing? Jose Fernandez, head coach of the Dallas Wings. What are you doing? And Lynn Roberts, head coach of the Los Angeles Sparks. What are you doing? Let's start with Stephanie White. She's the head coach of the Indiana Fever. Now, Caitlin Clark has been cold. She's coming off a really bad injury last year. She was left off the Olympic team in 24. There's been colossal mistakes made by Nike, by the WNBA, and by the WNBA players themselves. Now, Caitlin did come on stage with Morgan Wallen, so let me just say first that was a terrible decision in my opinion. Memo to Caitlin: stop hanging out with white country singers that use the N-word. But Stephanie White was asked in the press conference yesterday, what about Caitlin's resiliency? Now, you have to understand, Caitlin's been in a slump. She's coming off an injury, like I said, and she was specifically asked about Caitlin. And she said she thought the entire team showed resiliency. That's not what she asked. Like, I can't for the life of me understand, and I don't have Caitlin derangement syndrome, but this kind of stuff's crazy. Like, I will praise anyone and everyone. But until the end of time, if these players and coaches and the commissioner and everybody in between do not give Caitlin her flowers for not only what she's done, from ticket sales to online viewership to hot dog sales to jersey sales to the boom in women's sports to the valuation of WNBA franchises to exactly what is happening now with the new billion-dollar television contract, sold out stadiums, charter flights, the WNBA turning a profit for the first time in 29 years last year. Not only does Stephanie White know all this is the second time she's been the head coach of the Fever. Now, I'm not even going to get into what this roster looks like because I think from top to bottom, I give it a grade of a C right now. I love Sophie, I love Lexi, I love AB, I love Kelsey, and I love Caitlin. But look, man, they didn't fucked up in the offseason. I'm just going to be honest with you. And look, man, all of these women are WNBA players. Are there some players that should be in the WNBA that aren't, and vice versa? Yeah, that's always the case. Now, Christy Sides was criticized heavily because of how she did not help Caitlin evolve in her season with her. Stephanie's so just like formulaic and robotic in her answers. It drives me fucking crazy. Memo to Stephanie: look, man, I've never coached at the WNBA level. I hope I get the opportunity to coach at the Division I level in 2029. I will be in San Antonio, but I digress. But you have to understand the culture, and you are supposed to know your team better than anyone. And I can't for the life of me understand why you would not have said, and I didn't plan this, I didn't prepare to say this, this is just off the top of the dome. When she was asked that question, why wasn't it, man, I am so happy for Caitlin. I know she's been in a slump. She's coming off an injury. She's been a little bit hesitant, and we feed off of her. So the fact that she had 5 threes and executed that last second play to tie it, to send it to overtime, I just thought it was amazing. I just feel bad for the team that we were not able to finish the deal. You see what I did there? You give her flowers, and then you compliment the team for the comeback. Fuck, I still have this humongous residual frustration and anger towards all of those people that I mentioned in the beginning, because she's Tiger Woods. She's not MJ. It was different back then. Magic and Larry had already come. She's not Larry Bird. She's not Magic Johnson. She is literally Tiger Woods. Now, that is not to throw any shade at Aja Wilson or Nafisa Collier or any of the other great players in the league. Shout out to Chennedy Carter, by the way. She's playing amazing. And it should be noted that when Coach Weatherspoon made that call to Becky Hammon, she listened. And you know they're sitting there on the bench like, man, this is exactly what the doctor ordered. But again, I digress. The Indiana Fever, unless they make a trade, will not be getting to the WNBA semifinals, let alone the finals this year. I'm just saying that right now. Las Vegas is winning another ring. Now, I'm not even going to get into right now the colossal mistakes that Nike has made in not putting Caitlin Clark's shoe out before Asia Wilson's. And again, look, the WNBA has had a relatability issue until Caitlin Clark came along. She brought people into the conversation that not only were not basketball fans or women's basketball fans, they weren't even athletes or sports fans. That's what Tiger Woods did. And the fact that Nike waited so long, the fact that now in hindsight, most people will say that leaving her off the Olympic team, it cost them billions. It cost them tens, if not hundreds of millions of fans. And you could see the empty seats when Caitlin was recently playing for USA Basketball. Terrible decisions, as well as from the leadership of the WNBA. I'm not saying Kathy's not a nice woman and a great mom. That is not what I'm saying. This is about the continuous amount of mistakes that have come from the front office. They weren't ready for this shit. They just weren't, and you continue to see it. If they did not turn a profit and have a legendary negotiator in those negotiations sitting at that table, along with Caitlin Clark and what she's done for all of women's sports and the WNBA, we would not have seen this collective bargaining agreement that was just passed that gives the players now an average salary of nearly $600,000. Shout out to the past players that are also getting paid now if they played at least 5 years. Also, shout out to the women from the original the WBL, the Women's Basketball League. Now, Gatorade, Wilson, and State Farm, they did not mess up. They understood the assignment, and they have executed flawlessly thus far. Now, back to that relatability issue that I was talking about earlier. Tiger Woods related to everybody across the board. And the amount of hatred that has come Caitlin Clark's way because she's who knows what, straight, from the Midwest, white. It's crazy to me. Like, do people hate Dawn Staley because she's won 3 titles? Do people hate Becky Hammon because she's won 3 titles? Do people hate Gino because he's won 13 titles? Do people hate on Tara Vanderveer because she won 3 titles? Do people hate on Pat Summitt because she won 8 titles? Did you see anybody hating on Steph Curry after what he did for the league? What the fuck are people hating on her for, bro? Because she's a little bit of a whiner? She's competitive as shit. Isn't that what you want? Like, the issues in the NBA, I know I got NBA players here, I gotta get some WNBA figurines. Like, I don't give a shit. The NBA is such a fucking horrendous brand of basketball. I love my Pistons. They're playing well. If they play the Knicks, I think they're going to win. I don't think they can beat OKC or San Antonio, but again, I digress. But if I see another pick and roll, like, come on. You know, Uber, Amazon, the NFL, and the NBA all lost money for a long time. I think Uber was 5 years, Amazon was 10, the NBA was 40, and the NFL was 50, something like that, or vice versa with the NBA and the NFL. So it was only a matter of time before the WNBA was going to get their Tiger Woods and finally turn a profit, which they have. Like, have we seen any of this type of hatred towards Tiger Woods? No. Only after he has self-destructed have we been critical of him. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about this, but I'm going to make the point about how ridiculous it is that there are no African-American women's basketball coaches in the WNBA. There are no former African-American WNBA players who are head coaches in the WNBA, obviously. And this trend of bringing NBA coaches over because they either won or they're creative or, look, man, Christy Tolliver, there are so many women's coaches that are qualified to be coaching in the WNBA. It's insane to me. And the trend that we're bringing over NBA coaches over here or more men is just absolutely ridiculous. Many of which have never coached women's basketball ever. Now, to Jose Fernandez. Look, memo to Jose Fernandez. Did a good job at South Florida. Throwing your players under the bus and calling them selfish. This ain't college, my guy. Like, that stuff's not going to bring your team together. And it's certainly not going to make them want to re-sign with the organization when their contracts are up. And look, I don't know exactly what the conversations are like between you and Curt Miller, the general manager, but I know Curt Miller does not have that type of culture in his organizations and never has. So I would strongly advise you as well to not use those college tactics in the WNBA because they're not going to work. Now, Lynn Roberts did the same bullshit in Los Angeles. Like, this ain't Utah. This ain't Pacific. This is the Los Angeles Sparks. And what you said about Cameron Brink, again, just ridiculous. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, how is that uplifting your players and helping the culture? Like, Jose, you've been there like a month. Like, what are you doing, bro? Look, man, you can go back and criticize me all you want for any of the mistakes that I've made as a coach. I remember one time I said, God, that was so stupid. There was 3 people in the gym. My player comes over. I'm a head college basketball coach for a women's team, and she's bawling, and I lost her for the rest of the game. And I apologize profusely, and I apologize to this day, and we're very close now. I helped her go play somewhere else after she played community college ball, but like, you're in the WNBA. Like, what are y'all doing? Now, why is Crystal Bradford not on a WNBA roster? Just had to throw that in there because she's so fucking good. It's unbelievable. She hit 10 threes in a game in Athletes Unlimited last year. Bro, you can accidentally maybe hit 5 or 6, but not 10. Come on, general managers. What are y'all doing out there? If you haven't noticed, some of you have really thin front courts and you don't have any veteran presence in the locker room or on the court. So maybe you should pick up that cell phone of yours and give Crystal a call. Now, also shout out to Upshot, basically the developmental league for the WNBA without saying as much. And man, they got some good players over there. So check that out as well, y'all. Have I said that I love big squishies? This strawberry one is my favorite, y'all. Yeah! I got the pickle too. What do you guys like better, the pickle or the strawberry? Peaches, 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 peaches. I love this peach, man. That's my favorite of the small ones. The cheese one is nice. Come on now. Oh, man. I need to squeeze this about 10 times right now. I almost forgot the carrot. I love the carrot. But of the big ones, I think I like the strawberry just a little bit better. So the bottom line is those 3 coaches in particular thought you could have handled those situations better. That is not controlling the controllables. That is not what you tell your players to do. So the next time you get in those scenarios, maybe praise the players like Arike, like AZ Fudd, who clearly needs to work on her game, especially off the dribble. She's working with Steph Curry. He's mentoring her. Like, she's going to get better. And then, okay, you want to be critical of that overall number 1 pick? You have every right to do so from the fans' perspective. But coaches, don't piss off your star players, your fan favorites, like Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark, and Cameron Brink. Like, come on, man. Now, if y'all don't have the WNBA League Pass, it's like under $40. It's the best deal in sports, y'all, so check it out right now. Now, a couple of other players that I want to shout out. Georgia Moore, playing for the Washington Mystics, back from an ACL injury. Man, it was so good to see her out there playing. Again, shout out to Chennedy Carter. If she gets that 3-point shot wet, she is a Hall of Famer. Her mid-range game is so good, and she looks like she's matured, and I think that's amazing. Shout out to Olivia Miles, bro. You know, some players are like in a system, and shout out to TCU for embracing her and helping her game evolve, and Notre Dame. But you know how some players just get better and better? Bro, Olivia Miles, she's so fucking good, bro. I'm telling you right now, man, once Nafisa comes back, I hope that Vegas plays Minnesota in the finals. Sonia Citron is the next one from the Washington Mystics. She's averaging 24 points a game, and she's only shooting 25% from 3. She wasn't even the player that was talked about in college on Notre Dame's team. That's unbelievable. And shout out to Asia Wilson again. Man, she has picked up right where they left off and where she left off. 45 points. I know it was against Connecticut. They stink. Thank God they're moving to Houston. But she hit all 15 free throws. I think she missed 3 shots out of like 18. Are you kidding me right now? And shout out to Angel Reese. She's averaging a double-double. 11.5 points and 15 rebounds. Like, are you kidding me right now? And Atlanta's undefeated going into that Las Vegas game tomorrow. And Flau'jae Johnson is doing really well in Seattle. She's averaging 12 points and 5 boards and nearly 2 steals. And I got to be honest, I was bummed that Kate Martin was let go from the Valkyries. I just thought she was a great fit there. The city loved her and embraced her, and she's now with the Los Angeles Sparks. Got her first action last night. Didn't do too much, but it was great to see her out there. Sabrina, can't wait till you get back out there. Enjoy the rest of the WNBA season, the NBA playoffs. Go Tigers, go Pistons, go Red Wings, and go Lions. Thanks for watching this special edition of the Sports Deli Podcast, Season 7, Episode 1. Stay tuned because we have a very special guest, a former WNBA player and coach, coming up real soon. And I really hope there's one owner or one general manager or one coach that finally gives Colin Kaepernick an opportunity to play in the NFL this year. Until next time, thanks for watching. Remember, you can always dial 988 24/7 365 and someone will be there to listen and help you if you're having a hard moment or a hard day. Mom, thanks for everything you do for all of us. Coach Sade, you're amazing. Thank you for the opportunity that you've given me. Guys and ladies, remember to do your self-monthly breast examinations. And guys, please do your self-testicular examinations monthly as well. Shout out to Moolah Kicks, the first ever female brand basketball shoe in the history of the United States, started by Natalie White. And shout out to 40 Tons Brand, a socially conscious cannabis brand. This episode is brought to you by my YouTube channel. Check it out right now, youtube.com/@MikeHootner, and my Amazon storefront. Check that out also at amazon.com/shop/the-sports-deli, all one word. Now, I may make a commission on any qualifying purchase, but it's at no extra cost to you. Much love. See you next time, and remember, you're not alone. Do we have to refer to him as Mr. Duncan? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, please, I'm very formal, Secretary Duncan.
There you go. Exactly.
Just put a sir on the end of it. Secretary Duncan, sir.
Well, because, Jay Billis always said that he could never call Coach K Mike, even after all these years, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Mike's a different level. I'm not. So it's all good.
All right, here we go.
Look at that shirt. What? Wait, but hold on one second. That's an inside-out white shirt. You're living a life.
Thanks again for joining us today, everyone. Feel free to send me an email to thesportsdeli@gmail.com. Also, check out my link tree. It's /Mike Hootner. Remember, Black Lives Matter. Reach out to your local and state politicians for any individual or group that you feel are being marginalized. Stop the bullying. Stop the Asian hate. Let's end gun violence with common sense laws. Let's be allies for the LGBTQIA+ community. And I challenge those of you in the white space to be anti-racist, to be bridges and vessels, to help bridge the gaps between black and white America. And remember, until next time, it takes a village, everyone. Much love.